Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dharma Bum Temple. I welcome you. Travis welcomes you. All the beings seen and unseen in the Dharma Bum Temple welcome you. Lenny and Squiggy, Dougie and Charlotte, and of course, Temple Ghost. We all welcome you to the Dharma Bum Temple. It's wonderful to be here with you today. Last week it was hot and sticky. Today it's hot and sticky. So that's okay. It's getting a little cooler now. And we talked a little bit yesterday, or last week I should say, about it's okay that it's hot and sticky. It's not a problem. It's just what we work with in practice. Right? We try that it's not hot and sticky, but if those are the conditions, then those are the conditions. So welcome everybody. This is the Wednesday class on loving kindness. My name is Alex, as I think I just said. And who are you? I would love to hear from you. There's a little chat box there. Just say hi. If this is your first time at the Dharma Bum Temple, or to an online class at the Dharma Bum Temple, or your first online class to Wednesday, I'd especially love to hear from you, but actually I just want to hear from everybody. It's really helpful. It's a way to engage and get you engaged and to help me engage with you. So Travis will tell me if somebody says something. All right. So this is a class on loving kindness. And loving kindness is the translation that we use for this class. The word that we're translating is an ancient Pali word called metta, M-E-T-T-A. And this is a wonderful word, metta. And it comes from the ancient Pali language. And Pali is what we think is pretty close to what the Buddha spoke. So as is with a lot of ancient words, when it gets translated 2,500 years later into another language, a modern language like English, this word can have some different meanings depending on who we're doing this for. So this word can mean loving kindness, it could mean unconditional friendliness, it could mean goodwill, and it's simply a wish to be happy. A wish for us to be happy, a wish for us to do the things that cause happiness, a wish for others to be happy, and a wish that others do the things that cause happiness. And so that begs the question, what causes happiness? Well, this is where, being an online class, it doesn't help for me to wait for your answers. So I'll just tell you, our positive words, our positive thoughts, our positive deeds. I think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. That's the motto of the Dharma Bum Temple. And it's not a motto just because it sounds good. It's a motto because this is how we want to use, or how we want to live our lives, right? And these things cause happiness. They cause happiness for us. And when other people do them, it causes happiness for them too. Right? And so my happiness never interferes with anybody else's happiness because I'm only creating positive karma, positive actions, right? And positive intentions. And so hopefully others are doing that too, right? And, loving kindness in this meditation that we do is just not for meditation. It's just not when we sit or go to the hour-long loving kindness class that we practice this. We practice this, and we can practice this at any time during the day, whether we're standing or walking, seated or lying down, which are the 4 positions of meditation. We can practice loving kindness at any time during the day, whether we're alone or whether we're in a giant group of people. But it really helps when we really want to get down to practice. If we're you have a nice seated position. So I'll ask really quickly, Travis, has anybody says hello?
Nope.
Nobody?
Hello.
Hi, Travis. Hi, Travis. All right. That's okay. I still love you. So if you're seated on, and Temple Ghost loves you as well. Temple Ghost, if Temple Ghost is a real thing, because Temple Ghost lives in the little house that's on the platform in the back of the temple here. It used to be right here, or actually it used to be right there, I think. So Temple Ghost, I'll tell you more about Temple Ghost later. The Temple Ghost is awesome. All right. Let's get in our seated position. If you're seated in a chair, or I'm sorry, if you're seated on a cushion, you just want to make sure that you're seated on the forward third of the cushion so that your hips are higher than your legs. You want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and straight. And if you're sitting on a chair, you just want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor with your legs just a few inches apart. Making sure that your back is nice and straight. So I make sure that my back is nice and straight. So I kind of make it super straight, kind of overly straight, then just kind of relax. So that my shoulders have dropped, but my core is still somewhat engaged, keeping my back straight. Not in a straining way, but after you do this for a while, you kind of get the hang of it. You know what that is. Your hands can be anywhere that's comfortable. So I like to put my hands on my leg or in my lap, and sometimes I just alternate between the two, depending on how I feel. Your head is nice and straight, maybe tucking the chin under just a little. And then, the last thing is the eyes. And in the West, it's usually easiest just to close your eyes. It's fine. So you can close your eyes, you can open your eyes, and sometimes people find it really useful just to kind of half close their eyes, looking 45 degrees down past your nose in this kind of soft and unfocused gaze. And so really the thing with your seated position, the reason why we give so many instructions on the seated position is so that the body is able to remain still. And if the body is able to remain still, most likely the mind will be able to remain still. And if the body is still, if the mind is still, you can do this wonderful practice of loving kindness unimpeded by by a lot of discomfort. If you have to move, that's okay. Short, slow movements are the best. Just get back to what you're doing. If it gets really uncomfortable and you have to get up and you have to stretch and you have to crack your neck and crack your back and do whatever else that is you have to do to get comfortable, and then you can sit back down and you can start again. All these things are okay, right? You don't get down on ourselves in meditation. We get down on ourselves the other 23 hours and 40 minutes of the day. That's okay, but not in meditation. So let's get into our seated position. And let's start. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure that you have that nice and sustainable seated position, so you're not likely to move around too much. At first, let's just start to pay a gentle attention to the breath. Focusing on the breath at the base of the nostrils, right here. And you can kind of practice this by taking a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. not forcing the breath, letting it be quite easy and quite natural, but still understanding where it's coming into the body, right at the base of the nostrils. Putting your attention there. Nice and easy and slow and gentle. This is how we get ready for a meditation on loving kindness for ourselves and loving kindness for others. So just for the next few moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. Now, to begin our practice of loving kindness, we are going to start with a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness. Someone who is really easy to have these feelings for. You just think of this person and you start to smile, your heart starts to get bigger, warmer. This could be any relative, not a romantic partner, but everyone else is fair game. Mother, father, brother, sister, best friend, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, Nana, Bobo, whatever you call them. Someone who is like influential, who you have a lot of respect for. So you call this person to mind and you can just kind of picture them and their own wish to be happy. So you can do this practice by repeating phrases over and over, phrases like, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. Or if you don't want to repeat phrases, you can just imagine this beam of loving kindness coming from your heart to theirs. And it could be vibrating, it could be any color, it could be warm, it could be cool. It's important just to experiment and see what works for you. And it always helps to smile a little bit while you do this practice. So just for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. And now shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this practice for a benefactor, to now we can imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. A benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness, and we can relive and revisit that great love and great kindness with this part of the practice. So you still imagine your benefactor, and you can imagine your benefactor either saying these words, these phrases for you, like, may you be happy, say your name, and all of the other phrases, or you can just imagine them, shooting a beam of loving kindness from their heart to yours, smiling down at you. That love and kindness that they've given to you before, they give to you again, with a heart that's open. And can we receive this love without rejecting any of it? It's really helpful to put your hand over your heart and just listen while you imagine them either radiating loving kindness to you or repeating the phrases. Can you let all of it in? Do you feel any resistance? And if you do, that's okay. Can you breathe into it and maybe loosen it a little bit? Letting more of this benefactor's loving kindness into your heart. It still helps to smile too. So for the next few moments, we'll just imagine our benefactor or benefactors doing this practice of loving kindness for us. now shifting our focus again to now, can we do this practice for ourselves? Can we repeat these phrases? Can we imagine our heart getting bigger, warmer, as we say these phrases to ourselves? May I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. You can still put your hand over your heart, listening for any resistance, gently letting that go as much as you can. And still smiling if you can too. And then finally, can we just do this practice for as many people as we can? Can we do this for all beings in all directions? And you can imagine your heart getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and including more people. At first, maybe just the people in your home, and the people in your neighborhood, people in your city, and just keep going out and out and out as far as you can. And can you just finally include everybody, all beings in all directions? You can, really. Let's see how far out you can go. May all beings be happy. Open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next 60 seconds out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs, still keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. Maybe still smiling a little bit. And then we'll begin. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat box. If you just want to say hi, you can put that in the chat box too. I would love to hear from you. Oh, my goodness. Well, that was good for me. I hope it was good for you too. Anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Cynthia said, "Hi, Alex, love you."
I love you too, Cynthia.
And then Jen gave a very enthusiastic hey with lots of E's.
Hey. Hey. You know, what I was thinking about. Oh, does somebody else have something?
Oh, Frank wanted you to tell a Temple Ghost story.
Oh, Temple Ghost. Yeah, Temple Ghost. Temple Ghost is awesome. Temple Ghost lives here, lives in the house back there. So I keep it clean. Although it doesn't get too dirty really up there. Temple Ghost does not have a name. Temple Ghost just wants to be known as Temple Ghost. Temple Ghost is a protector ghost, so he's never going to hurt anybody. Right, so he only has the well-being of the temple in mind. And he's just cool to have around. It's a short story. We also have Lenny and Squiggy. Lenny and Squiggy are two little lizards that live in the library. At first, I thought there was just one, and I kind of lifted up the little kind of table in there, and then there was another one there. And so the first one was already named Lenny, so of course I had to name the other one Squiggy, because I'm old, and that's what my generation remembers. And then Dougie also lives in the library. Dougie is one of the daddy long legs. And then Charlotte is also a daddy long leg. She lives down at the bottom of the stairs. So I don't bother any of them. So we all welcome you. I was with a realtor recently. We were kind of talking about stuff, the market and all the other kind of stuff. And during, when we were talking, it really reminded me a lot about how we practice. Because we were talking about, there's no such thing as going back to normal. That life that we had before March, that's never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. It isn't that exciting. Now that we've had several months of lockdown, things have changed a lot. People can work at home, and we're finding out it's not a big deal. We can always work at home. I work for a really small company, but the powers that be, they like people working at home. It was a little suspicious. Why do you need to work at home? But we could do it if we wanted to, like every once in a while. Now everybody works at home, and we're just as productive as if we were in the office. Just as productive. We have one person who goes into the office, and she brings her kids with her. She has 2 young children, and she works. because she has to be in the office. So she works. She got her kids with her, and I know a lot of people are out of work, and so I'm not trying to, minimize, the difficulty that you're going through. Like with any teaching, it has its applications, and so it doesn't apply necessarily in the way that I mean it to absolutely everybody. But it reminded me of how we practice and how it's so difficult to stay present, with the breath, because we always want to reach back for the past or reach into the future. And the past will never happen again. We'll never get back there, but we're so addicted to thinking about the past. And now we have this kind of real world example of, we're in a pandemic and we can't even get back to the world of a few months ago, because that's never going to happen again. We can only focus on what's going on now, how we react to what's going on now, and how that can shape our present and how that can shape our future. So I was thinking a lot about that. Again, I understand there is no past, and we have this new world that we're in, and it's a really interesting world. Even if the COVID were to go away tomorrow, which it won't at all, but even if it did, we'd still be in a completely different world, and we wouldn't go back to whatever that was a few months ago. And I don't know. So focus on the present. I don't know. Is that the teaching? I think so. But it was just the similarities, I think, just reminded me of that, and it was really just kind of interesting. And it's a wonderful way to kind of look at the world, if you can look at the world that way. Anyway, that's basically kind of what I wanted to share a little bit. I can share a lot more if I need to, for sure. But I want to know. I want to hear from you. I want to engage with you. Because that's the thing that I'm missing. Like I say that all the time, but it's true. I'm missing, like every week, the thing that I'm missing, even though this is kind of the new normal for now. But the thing that I miss sometimes is engaging with you. And I can't engage with you face to face. So if you have a question, I would love to hear a question. If you have a comment, I'd love to hear a comment. I would love to hear about your practice of loving kindness. I would like to hear about if there was an easy part, if there was a difficult part, if you have any questions. If you have any questions about Buddhism, if you have any more questions about Temple Ghost, if you have any more questions about anything, I am happy to try to answer them for you.
So Jen asked, how does Temple Ghost manifest?
How does Temple Ghost manifest? Temple Ghost manifests, for me, a better way to say that helps me, maybe not you, but helps me, is I know that he's a presence here. I hear that he's a presence here. I hear him at night. I don't even know if it's a hymn. I don't know if they're even hymns. But yeah, he's around. He's around. I feel better when he's around. And really quickly, you don't have to believe in any of that stuff to be a Buddhist. Most of that's just superstitious stuff. It's okay. If you don't, a lot of people are really offended by that stuff. You don't have to be. It's just different.
So since you're talking about the temple ghosts, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the 6 realms.
So I don't talk about the 6 realms so much as I talk about the different planes of existence, like the 31 planes of existence that are kind of grouped into 6, or maybe, but I don't use that grouping of 6. And this is really interesting, these planes of existence. And what's wonderful about them is that these 31 planes of existence that exist in samsara, the cycle of birth and death that we are kind of tethered to at the moment, part of the Buddha's enlightenment story, if you know the Buddha's enlightenment story, I've told it, numerous times. Part of that story, which I don't tell normally, but part of that story is like during when he was understanding more and more and more, and he had all these discoveries during the night, the earth tilted on its axis in such a way that the Buddha can see all 31 planes of existence. And the wonderful thing about these 31 planes of existence is that they're all impermanent because they're all tied to samsara, right? Even the highest of the highest realm is impermanent. No one stays there. Even the lowest of the lowest hell, no one stays there. You can't. No one stays there. You make your way up eventually. And sometimes you work your way up and you go all the way down. You go down a little bit and sometimes not. But what's wonderful about this is the richness of what these kind of planes, why you're there, what you can do while you're there, and how beneficial it is to be here. Even though we're 5th from the bottom, this is the best place to be. Because if you're in one of the lower realms, it's too much suffering. You can't hear the Dharma, whether you're in the hell realm, animal realm, asura realm. Asuras are these ghosts that fight all the time. You can't really hear the Dharma. There's not enough pleasure to counter all the suffering. And when you're in the higher realms, it's just too and fairy, utopia-ish, just kind of awesomeness. And in the sutras, it's really funny. They're talking about mansions and doves with nymphs. No, nymphs with doves' feet and all this kind of imagery. Trying to describe how wonderful it is, and it's not bad to be there, but it's wonderful. It's better than the hell realms, that's for darn sure. But it's too good. There's not enough suffering. Only in this realm, in the human realm, do you have enough mix of pleasure and pain, suffering and not suffering, and joy, to really hear the Dharma properly, to really work with the Dharma effectively. And it's one of the this Buddhist cosmology is what we're talking about here, and there's a richness to it that a lot of people who come to Buddhism are more agnostic, or I would say more atheist, that are really missing out on that richness. I mean, if you're like an atheist, that's fine. What you can do is you can look at these different realms as mind states, or in a different kind of a mindset. It's actually a state in a different realm. But I like kind of suspending disbelief a little bit and just thinking about, the richness of this cosmology, the richness of this imagery that they have for each one of these realms. And you can also just look at it as pure metaphor as well, because it's also meant to be looked at like that as well. And it's so fun. It just makes your experience of this practice so much richer and so much funner. Funner is like, oh, okay. Okay, isn't that really interesting? And I mentioned Temple Ghost in the Thai tradition, the Thai forest tradition. Thais in general, super superstitious, like really superstitious. Ghosts, and there's ghosts in the forest, and there's ghosts everywhere else. And the ghosts aren't usually good, I don't think, in the Thai tradition. They're not great. That's not true with Temple Ghost. Temple Ghost is awesome. And Temple Ghost will protect the temple. And I totally made Temple Ghost up. But that's okay. I still believe in Temple Ghost. All the creaks and whatever I hear during at night, that's Temple Ghost. So I'm going to stick with Temple Ghost. And Temple Ghost is awesome. And I think that's about it for that. And so again, to Travis's questions about the 6 realms, you know what all of them are: the hell realm, animal, asura, human, and then heavenly realms. Is that what you're talking about? More heavenly realm? Yeah. But I like thinking about these different 31 planes of existence. That when the Buddha was going through his enlightenment experience, the earth tilted on its axis, and he could see all 31 from the highest realm, who are in just like, I can't even say heaven, because it's not heaven as like in the Judeo-Christian standpoint, because that's a permanent place, and this isn't. And the hell realm to the lowest hell, and the reason that he saw that was because he saw all these different beings and all these different realms, and they're there because of their karma. They're there because of their mind states. So that's one of the reasons why we practice loving kindness, is so that we cannot be in the hell realms, I should say, and that these positive mind states are preferable. Because if you just look at them as mind states, they can lead to nirvana. They can lead to the end of these 31 realms, or planes of existence, I should say. And that's the thing about these 31 planes of existence. They're all conditioned. It's all conditioned. And nirvana, unconditioned. And what is nirvana? Where is nirvana? What happens in nirvana? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I know it's preferable than starting this the cycle of birth and death all the time. That's all I can tell you. It's a place of no suffering. Do we have anything else? Nope. Well, it feels nice and good. I was in Rancho San Diego just before here. My Lord, it's hot out there. Okay. Let's join our palms together on our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this discussion and this meditation be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. It was wonderful to be here with you. I love you all. Bye now.